Hi Leo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-February 2023 love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is we look at the past, present, and future energies between you and a main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight, and that's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's that way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that away, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Princess of Staves. So if we look at the body language here, I feel like this is saying that I have a feeling that you guys had feelings for this person, but there could have been, for whatever reason, a struggle for you to actually communicate those feelings. This is the equivalent of the Page of Cups energy, by the way. So maybe you might have felt like the timing wasn't necessarily right or something along those lines. But yeah, it looks like you were holding feelings for this person, but just not quite expressive around those feelings. All right, past energy on their side, we have the Eight of Wands. So usually this represents passionate communication. So yeah, I feel like in the past they might have been the ones who were more communicative and more expressive within the connection compared to you at the time. All right, and now, interestingly enough, in the present on your side, we have the Eight of Staves, so same card that they had in the past. So yeah, it looks like now in the present you are actually more open with your communication, right? More expressive, probably feeling more passion as well within the communication, but yeah, it looks like a definite shift in your energy there. All right, and then present energy on their side, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So now it's like their energy is a bit more of a blocked off energy. So it seems like the two of you just might have a struggle with getting on the same page at the same time, right? So it's one of those things where, like I said, it looks like in the past they were the ones primarily doing the communication and trying to initiate things. Now it looks like you might be the one doing so. Now they might just have their focus on more of their independent streak at this time. So it could just be one of those things where there's a clash of energies there. All right, and future energy on your side, we have the Five of Coins. So yeah, another indicator where, like I said, it seems like there's ups and downs with this connection, right? We're back to, so the body language was turned away from the cards on the side. In the present, all of those wands are pointing toward their direction, and now in the future, we see the back turned again, right? And with that cold, icy environment. So yeah, I feel like the main struggle is for the two of you to get on the same page at the same time. Okay, future energy on their side is the Knight of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. So, interesting mixture of energies here. So yeah, I feel like that's really what happens because, again, they started action-oriented, more withdrawn, and now in the future we see action-oriented again, right? Whereas for you is the other way around, action-oriented in the middle, and then more withdrawn in the past and future. So it could just be one of those things where that's the main issue, where maybe you both have some level of mutual attraction for each other, but the timing just never seems to be right between the two of you. I don't necessarily feel like there's like a deceptive energy behind that, right? It could just be genuinely that for whatever reason you guys just aren't on the same page at the same time, but it definitely does look like that seems to be a struggle. And I do have to say that with this person here, looks like if they come forward and feel like you're a bit more withdrawn again, I feel like this is saying that they might possibly go ahead and explore other options at that point too. So there could definitely be some frustration within the connection between the two of you, to say the least. All right, future energy. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Six of Staves. So this is actually a Leo energy here. Usually represents a level of victory as well, a level of confidence. So I do have to say, given that this, if you look at the future energy, it wouldn't necessarily look like you'd feel like you were in that energy. So what this could be pointing to for some of you is this could be a bit of an ego conflict. So just be on the lookout for that, right? Where, like I said, it could be one of those things where you were holding back, and then when you come forward, it looks like they're holding back, and it looks like that back and forth, right? So you're like, oh, well, they didn't want to reciprocate when I came forward, so now I'm not going to reciprocate when they come forward, right? So just be mindful of that potential dynamic. I don't feel like that's going to be the case for most of you, but on the other side, this could just be saying that whatever happens with the connection, you'll be fine. So there could definitely be disappointment there, but it looks like you'll bounce back fine. So maybe that could mean you guys might get on the same page eventually, or you'll just live and learn, right? And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Five of Cups. So yeah, maybe this is just more of a stretched out timeline than it appears to be too, right? So maybe you tend to approach each other when the other is otherwise involved, right? Whether in another connection or just pulled away for other areas of life. But seeing this here to me says that they might even have someone else in the pictures. Like I was saying when I saw the Eight of Cups energy, it could just be one of those things where they're open to explore their options. Like, okay, it doesn't seem like things are working out with Leo, so I'll move on, right? And see what else is out there. And for some of you, that could even be what you find out in the present, right? Because if we look at the artwork there with the Nine of Pentacles, we see this person off to the side, and they're looking in the direction of that couple, right? So that could even be what happens, where you might come forward with communication toward them and find out that they're in another connection. And then maybe because they still had feelings, they might say, oh, you know what, maybe I'll see what's going on with Leo, but then you've left the building by then, right? So definitely tricky dynamics. And the more I'm talking through this, I feel like this might just be more of a stretched out timeline. I don't feel like this is something that's happening within a matter of weeks. I feel like this is something that probably goes a little further back. And that could be why the timing just seems to be off between the two of you. But moving on to the Oracle cards, let's see what we get from the Moonlight deck here. And I'm going to be looking for unspoken messages for you to them and from them to you. I'll be looking for jumpers initially, but if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just put the deck down and pull cards that way. So let's see what comes up. Already got one there, and next we'll see what we get from them to you. Got one there. All right, so let's take a look at the one on your side first. Okay, we have moving on. I feel like we both need to go our separate ways for a while. So yeah, at the very least, that seems to match the dynamic where, like I said, something tells me this might have been the energy you've felt more than once with this connection too, right? So, but what's interesting to me is the for a while part, right? So yeah, it could just be one of these cyclical things where you tend to keep coming back to the connection, you and them, but just at the wrong times. We'll see what we got on their side. Okay, we have jealousy. It says, I feel like you've moved on without me, and that is difficult for me to see. So interesting there, because I don't really see you actually with someone else in the picture, whereas it looks like they are entertaining other possibilities. So interesting to see that come out on their side. And then hopefully that's not the dynamic at play too, right? Where because they assume that you have someone else, then they go get with someone else. It looks a little messy, I'm not going to lie, but we'll see what the Wisdom of the Oracle adds to the mix. So same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card with general advice to wrap the reading up with. Oh, already got one there, so let's see what you got. Okay, we have the Fates. There's the artwork, and the number is 17. So let's see what this has to say. Okay, the relationship message says, other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are, not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so you can remain in a relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are, and whatever is happening between you and them in the situation is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, because it seems to almost align with what we were seeing come up on your side about the moving on thing. So yeah, at the very least, like I said, it looks like the timing just might not be good right now. Maybe it's something that could be revisited down the line, but yeah, it does look like it's a bit of a tricky situation for now. So if that is your situation, hopefully this resonated with you guys, and we'll wrap up there. I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.